Monday. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. Well, is the world ending? 10-year Treasury coming down to 1.5%. Of course, continued fears over Europe, continued fears that seem to be coming all over the world. And the thing is that, as I've said before, what community bankers need is the ability to look forward and to be able to make good decisions today as well as strategic decisions into the future. And of course, with all of this news, on top of it, a not great employment number coming out, along with it, other financial numbers not looking good. So what is the thought process in here? How should we be thinking about the U.S. economy? Well, we go back to a chart that we've looked at many times before. We have the new leading index over the next 6 months. Once again, this is put out by Fed Philadelphia. And as we've talked about this, is that it's really been very indicative of the direction of our economy in the past. And within this is that we can see that the majority of the country is in green, which is indicating economic growth. In fact, the dark green indicating economic growth of 1.5% to 4.5%. And when you look at the entire nation being almost in that dark green zone, as well as the light green, is that it's indicating the next 6 months for economic growth. More economic growth than what it's been predicting in the past 2 quarters. So when we think about this, this is giving us a way to look into the future, to get out of this noise, and to suggest that the U.S. economy should do well. And along with it, our projection of looking at the fact that non-current loans should continue to drop for community banks across the country. So this is telling us a different story than what we might be hearing on the internet or on television about the U.S. economy. But I also think that a very important thing to look at is what has happened as an offset to the world's problems, is looking at crude oil, looking at the pump prices, and you can see here this incredible drop that we've had over a short period of time in terms of overall crude, which is the orange, and then we can see that gas prices have been moderating and should continue to drop in here as we move through the summer. So that when we go back and look at this, is that these drop in oil prices can only help. Because as Dr. Ed talks about oil prices, especially when they're rising, is that it's a tax that has no benefit to the United States. It's money that just simply leaves. So when we think about that money coming back in, my feeling is that it should ignite even more economic growth than what this is showing right now. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. Have a good week.